Why do women stay longer than they should in toxic marriages? Watch till the end and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section.
Why do women stay longer than they should in toxic marriages? She knows it's not healthy. She knows the yelling isn't love. She knows the control, the blame, the walking on eggshells. None of it feels like partnership. Friends have whispered concerns. Family members have asked questions. Even she had late nights alone where she stared at the ceiling and thought, I can't keep living like this. And yet she stayed. Not because she's weak, not because she doesn't see the signs, but because when a woman stays in a toxic marriage, there is always more beneath the surface than most people will ever understand. People ask, why doesn't she just leave? As if leaving were as simple as packing a suitcase and walking out of the door. But leaving a toxic marriage, especially when love, children, finances, or faith is involved, is never just a decision. It's a battle between what you know and what you hope. Between survival and guilt, between fear and the tiny flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, this time he will change. For many women, the first reason they stay is hope. Hope that the man they fell in love with, the one who was kind, charming, attentive, will come back. Toxic marriages rarely start toxic. They start with connection, with laughter, with moments that felt real. And so when things turn, when the insult starts, or the emotional manipulation creeps in, she tells herself, this isn't who he really is. She believes in his potential more than his patterns. She clings to the good memories, hoping they will return if she can just love him enough. Then there is fear. Fear of what life would look like on the other side. Fear of judgment, fear of loneliness, fear of starting all over again, especially if she is being financially dependent, emotionally isolated, or made to believe she is too damaged or undesirable to ever be wanted again. Toxic partners don't just wound with words. They slowly chip away at a woman's confidence until she believes she can't make it on her own. So even when she knows the relationship is harmful, fear begins to whisper, better the devil you know than the unknown that might destroy you. Guilt is another anchor, especially for women who are caregivers by nature, who were raised to believe that love means endurance, or who carry cultural or religious beliefs that frame divorce as failure. She doesn't want to break her children's home. She doesn't want to disappoint her parents. She doesn't want to admit that the life she dreamed of has become a nightmare. So she stays, telling herself she's doing it for the children, for God, for the vows she made, all the while forgetting that those same vows included words like love, honor, and cherish, not control, fear, or suffering. There is also a dangerous normalization of toxicity when a woman grows up witnessing unhealthy dynamics. Parents who screamed, threatened, or manipulated. Those patterns begins to become familiar. And what's familiar often feels safer than what's healthy. So when her husband raises his voice, controls her decisions, or cycles between affection and emotional distance, it feels eerily normal. She may not even recognize it as toxic because she's never seen anything else. And even if she does see it, she may minimize it. He's not perfect, but who is? Every marriage has problems. At least he doesn't hit me. And so the line between discomfort and danger gets blurred before her own eyes. Financial dependence is a massive factor as well. Many women stay in toxic marriage because they simply can't afford to leave. Maybe he controls the money, maybe she's been out of the workplace for years, or maybe every time she tries to gain financial independence, he sabotages it, subtly or indirectly. Without financial freedom, living isn't just emotional, it becomes a logistical nightmare. Where would she go? How would she feed the children? What if he cuts her off completely? These are not imaginary fear. For many women, they are the reality that keeps them silent. Children add another layer of complexity. A mother will endure almost anything if she believes it will protect her children. And toxic men often manipulate this instinct, saying things like, well, you're breaking up the family or you'll destroy the children if you leave. She may think it's better for them to grow up in a two-parent household even if one parent is emotionally abusive. What she doesn't realize is that children are not fooled by appearances. They may not understand the argument, but they feel the tension. They internalize the silence, and often, the longer she stays for the children, the more they absorb a dangerous lesson about what love is supposed to look like. Emotional trauma bonds also play a significant role. A toxic relationship, love is often interwoven with pain. There is a cycle of tension, explosion, apology, affection that becomes addictive. The highs feels euphoric, the lows feel devastating, and each time he says sorry, each time he promises it won't happen again, she wants to believe. Because believing means she doesn't have to start all over. Because believing means the suffering had a purpose. And slowly, she becomes bonded, not just to the man, but to the cycle. And breaking that bond feels like breaking a part of herself. And then there is shame. Deep, soul-crushing shame. Shame that she stayed this long. Shame that she ignored the red flags. Shame that she's supposed to be strong, but feels anything but. Shame that she is smart, educated, independent, and still trapped in a relationship that's breaking her spirit. That shame doesn't just come from within, it comes from the outside world as well. From friends who say, I would never let a man treat me like that. From family who whisper, you made your bed, now you lie in it. From religious communities who preach forgiveness over safety. And so, she keeps the secret. She smiles in public, posts happy photos, plays the role, and dies slowly inside. But here is what no one tells her. Staying is not proof of loyalty. It is not proof of strength. It is not proof of how deeply you love. It is proof of how deeply you've been convinced that love means suffering. And it doesn't. Real love doesn't silence you. It doesn't belittle you. It doesn't leave you empty. It doesn't make you question your worth every single day. Living a toxic marriage isn't about giving up. It's about reclaiming. Reclaiming your voice, your dignity, your mental health, your future. It is not about finding someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the pain and who you can still become. So the woman reading this or watching this who stayed longer than she should have, you are not stupid. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a survivor. You did what you thought you had to do at the time. You loved the best way you knew how. And now you get to choose something different. Whether that means leaving, setting boundaries, or finally speaking your truth. You're allowed to choose yourself, whichever way. And to anyone who has judged a woman for staying, you've got to pause, ask better questions, replace blame with compassion. Instead of saying, why did she stay? Ask, what made her believe she couldn't leave? The answer will always be more complex, more heartbreaking, and more human than you think. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever stayed in a relationship that was slowly breaking you? What kept you there? What helped you finally walk away? Or what are you still trying to understand? These are salient questions. You could drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your truth might be the key that helps someone else unlock theirs. If this message hits home, Like it, share it, and follow us across all platforms because these are the conversations that matter. These are the ones that set people free. Thank you for watching. And remember, love should never be a slow form of self erosion. You deserve more, and you're allowed to want it. Bye for now.
Every episode leaves a lesson. In relationship and marriages, I'm easy. Thanks for watching.